Just waiting on you not to be blinded.
I got the other one.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, April 21st, 2025, 7 p.m. Bear?
Here.
Briggs?
Here.
Coulter?
Here.
Hydrips?
Here.
Holtmeyer?
Here.
Packey?
Here.
Reed?
Here.
Wessels?
Here.
Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated April 7th, 2025? Bear?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrips?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Packey?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Need a motion, guys?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Wessel, second by Coulter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that's approved.
Approval and adjustment of agenda?
Motion. Motion.
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Coulter,
Second.
second by Wessels. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that's approved.
Citizens' comments?
If anyone in the audience would like to come up and comment on things not in our agenda, and that includes making fun of the two outgoing councilmen, you're welcome to do so. Thank you. Go
Have a
ahead.
shot.
Unfinished business, certification of April 8th, 2025 election results by the verification board. Just need a motion.
I make a motion.
Motion by Holtmeyer.
Second.
Second by Coulter to certify the election results. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments. Resolution, thank you, Dwayne Reed.
Thank you, Dwayne Reed.
Let's do this. Okay, before we start this, I just want to say the last 3 years have been a pleasure. Dwayne, you always speak your heart. I appreciate that, even if it is a little different.
Off color,
Off color.
chin boogie.
I like chin boogie. I think we will all agree on that, my friend.
Not matted, framed or anything.
How about you, Frank? Thank you, Dwayne Reed. Whereas Dwayne Reed has served the city of Washington, Missouri as Ward 1 councilperson from April 2021 through April 25, and whereas during his term of office, he has given his time and effort to serve the citizens of the city of Washington, Missouri, and whereas he has served faithfully in the many capacities as a councilperson and has played a vital role in the important work in the community. And whereas he has been an influence for good in the growth and progress of our community, and whereas Dwayne Reed is entitled to just recognition for these efforts, now therefore I, James D. Hagedorn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, speaking on behalf of the entire city council and all our citizens, do hereby tender to Dwayne Reed this resolution extending our deep appreciation for his distinguished service as Ward 1 councilperson for the city of Washington. We wish you well in your success and future endeavors, and order this resolution spread upon the records of the city and of the Washington, and a copy delivered to you. And here you go, sir.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Speech, please.
Warmth. I appreciate it, guys. 4 years. I got a rock. What's up with that?
Where that came from?
Anyhow, it's been fun. It's been real. Hasn't been real fun, but it's been fun. I enjoyed it. May do it again someday. I thank you all, all of you in the audience and people that I have got to help over the last 4 years. I appreciate it. Carry on is the only thing I can say. Carry on. Thank you.
Stay up here so you can adjourn the meeting.
Resolution, thank you, Mark Wessels.
You don't get to leave.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just until this is over.
Can I move the rock now?
It's yours. Thank you, Mark. Before we start, I'd like to say
It's not even that.
it's been a pleasure. You have been a welcome friend to Gary Lucy on our board.
Paddle boat on it.
And God did not put any human being on this earth that's better than you. I appreciate my time with you very much. Thank you, Mark Wessels. Whereas Mark Wessels served the city of Washington, Missouri as Ward 2 councilperson from April 2019 through April 2025, and whereas during his term of office he has given his time and effort to serve the citizens of Washington, Missouri, and whereas he has served faithfully in the many capacities as council chairperson and has played a vital role in the important work of the community, and whereas he has been an influence for good in the growth and progress of our community, and whereas Mark Wessels is entitled to just recognition for these efforts. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, and speaking on behalf of the entire city council and all our citizens, do hereby tender to Mark this resolution extending our deep appreciation for his distinguished service as Ward 1 councilperson for the city of Washington. We wish him success in all his future endeavors and order this resolution spread upon the records of the city and copy thereof delivered to you.
You know, us Ward 2 people always have some things to say before we finish things up, you know, so. No, I wanted to thank first off, I guess the voters of Ward 2 for allowing me to do this. It's been a good 6 years. I've enjoyed it. They gave me a chance to work with a great crew here, both staff and council people. You know, they took on this guy. I'm kind of the newbie up here on this board here. I've only lived here 45 years. And all the rest of them got me beat by way over that. But anyway, they tolerated me and they let me do this, and I have enjoyed it. And I've learned a lot from all of them. I hope, and from the staff. We've got some excellent staff here that you can fall back on. I hope that they got a little bit of something from me also. I mean, about probably 95% of the time or more, we voted the same on issues, and when they didn't vote the same as me, they were wrong. But, you know, hopefully they learned, you know, they can go on from there, you know. And I turned in my iPad, and I told them all that I erased all the pictures of them that maybe shouldn't be out there someday. Those are all taken care of. Not all of them. One thing I do say, I wanted to let you know that, believe me, I won't forget you, as you know. When winter comes and Big Blue is screaming through my southern windows, I'll remember you, all of you guys, who wouldn't go with a coat of cami on that thing. But also, I wanted to let you know that if you ever need any help with your technology, feel free to, same with Sherry. Don't text me, call me. Okay? Thank you.
Council comments?
I'd like to thank both Mr. Wessel and Mr. Reed for all their years of service. It's been a joy serving with you guys. Thanks.
Thank you much, fellas.
Ditto.
Just need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Wessel, second by
Reed.
Reed.
There you go. Gotta get his name in on that last one.
You bet.
There you
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's been a good 3 years, guys. Okay.
Are we out? Yep.
Yes.
You don't mind if I drop this in the river down there, do you? We need a few more.
That'll get us started.
Charles, I'm gonna start it.
Don't get us started.
Get started.
Hey, Reed, take your name tag, your new name tag. You want it?
Why not?
Put it up in the garage by the other one.
Oh, look at that guy.
Put that on the water tower.
Okay, we got a mess. Yep. Get that rock out of the river.
Toodaloo, man.
See ya.
Mr. Reed?
He's got his rock.
You will.
It's fine.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Special meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, April 21st, 2025, 7:13 PM. Bear,
Here.
Briggs,
Here.
Coulter,
Here.
Heidrich,
Here.
Holtmeyer,
Here.
Packey.
Here.
And do I do roll call for?
I think you gotta do the oath of office first,
Stephen.
and then you do the roll
the-
call.
But I don't do them right now, do I? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, and then everybody rise for pledge of allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, now we need to do the oath of office.
There you go.
So if I could have Tim and Steve come up.
Steve.
Wake up.
Or you guys all at once? You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4? In order, please. Are you ready? All right, go ahead and raise your right hand, please. You do not have to repeat after me. I, Steve Solotruk, Tim Pepsel, Jeff Packey, and Joe Holtmeyer, do solemnly swear and affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by the law of office for Council Ward 1, Council Ward 2, Council Ward 3, and Council Ward 4, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri, provisions of laws of the state respecting cities of the third class, and the ordinances of the city of Washington, and faithfully demean myself in office, so help me God.
I do.
Congratulations. You sign. I need Steve first.
What's up? Just seems like yesterday you wrote. Seems like yesterday you wrote. Congratulations. Huh? I guess so.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the collector's treasurer's report summary for January 2025. You have investment report summary for January 2025. Final payment requests for City Hall HVAC chiller replacement and liquor license renewals.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Patke, who second? I missed.
Hydrich.
By Hydrich. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consent is approved.
Priority items, election of mayor pro tem.
You guys, before we start, if I could just take 10 seconds. 3 years ago, we were all together. There were 4 new people sitting up here, and Steve and Tim, welcome.
Thank you.
It's going to be different for all of us, as well as you guys, of course. I just ask, like I asked everybody back then, that we argue passionately, but respectfully. And I think that's what you'll experience from all of us. So, thanks, guys.
I need a motion for, mayor pro tem.
I'll nominate Jeff Packey. Second.
Motion by Chad Briggs and second by Coulter for Patke for pro tem.
Open up, see if anybody else has got nominations.
Any other nominations? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Election of council member to P and Z Commission.
I'd like to nominate Councilman Briggs for the Planning and Zoning Commission appointment.
Second that.
Okay, Patke nominated Briggs and second by Holtmeyer.
Any other nominations?
Any other nominations? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Election of council member to 353 Corporation.
I'll nominate Councilman Bear. Second.
Sorry, guys, I can't write fast enough, sorry.
Motion by Coulter.
Motion by Coulter, second by Briggs for Bear. Any other nominations? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that's done.
Election of Board of Health.
I'll nominate Councilman Sullentrup and Councilman Pepzel to serve on the Board of Health.
I need
And I'll
one.
also nominate Holtmeyer and myself.
I'll second that.
Supposed to say it was okay with 2.
Motion to elect Patke, Coulter.
No.
No.
Holtmeyer.
Sully is
Sorry.
All the new ones.
All the new ones.
Elected.
And Steve.
All 4 new ones.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Patke.
Oh, you did.
I made the
And
motion.
second,
Who seconded?
Coulter.
Coulter.
I didn't, but that's okay.
You did now.
I did now.
Any further nominations? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments, proclamation, Arbor Day.
I got you.
All right. Bunch of you guys. Great. Okay. Thanks for coming, you guys. That's all right. Arbor Day, whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday is called Arbor Day and was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, And whereas the Tree City USA program, sponsored by the National Arbor Day Foundation, provides direction, technical assistance, public attention, and national recognition for urban and community forestry programs in thousands of towns and cities that more than 93 Americans call home. And whereas the City of Washington has been a tree city for the past 20 years, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of businesses in the area, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of the City of Washington, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the city and urge all our citizens to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and to support our city's urban forestry program by planting trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of present and future generations. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say just a little bit about this group. One, it's a working committee, so these guys have a meeting 1 month, and then the next month we have some kind of tree activity that we do. So it could be pruning trees, it could be planting trees, different things like that. So last, let's see, what is it, April? I guess this month was a tree planting activity, which was last Thursday, I think it was, or Wednesday. And it planted trees down along the Greenway at 8th and Locust. So just want to make you aware of that. And then this proclamation is not just something for the mayor to read or practice up on his reading skills every year. It is a requirement for the Tree City USA recognition that we've received for the last 20 years now. So just want to make you aware of that too. So thank you.
Proclamation, National Day of Prayer.
National Day of Prayer. Throughout history, Americans have poured out prayers to God of hope in times of crisis and celebration, in prosperity and need, in times of war and peace. We have poured out praise to God for all He is, thanks to God for all He has done, confession and pleas of forgiveness when we have parted from His word and will, and poured out intercession asking for His heart and hand to move for the sake of our neighbors and the nation, and our history is filled with His grace, goodness, and abundant answers to those prayers. Whereas from the first prayer of our Continental Congress in 1774 to the opening of every session of the House of Representatives and Senate, and throughout the hearts and homes across America, the practice of prayer continues to seek God for guidance and wisdom, power, protection, and provision that has preserved hope and united us as one nation under God. Whereas the National Day of Prayer is a public law established in the United States Congress in 1952, approved by a joint resolution and amended by the Congress and President Reagan into public law in 1988, affirming that it is essential for us as a nation to pray, and directs the President of the United States to set aside and proclaim the first Thursday of May annually as the National Day of Prayer. And whereas in our city and across America, the observance of the National Day of Prayer will be held on Thursday, May 1, 2025, with the theme, Pour Out the God of Hope and Be Filled, based on the verse in Romans 15:13 that is a prayer and a promise. Now may the God of hope fill you with all the joy and peace in believing, so that you will abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Now therefore I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of the City of Washington, do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2025 as National Day of Prayer throughout the city, and I commend this observance to our citizens and request that prayers be poured out for our city and for our neighbors as we live, serve, work, and learn together, that we may be filled with all the joy and peace and abound in hope.
Thank you, Mayor Hagedorn. This is, I think, the third or fourth year that you have made this proclamation. And we so appreciate it because this is not something that's just happening in Washington, Missouri, but last year there were 50,000 National Day of Prayer gatherings across our nation, from the East Coast to the West Coast to all the territories. And I checked today to see how many counties there were in the United States and territories. There were 3,100 counties. And so if you do the math, that's something like 15 prayer events on the National Day of Prayer per county across the United States. So, and there were something like 50 million attendees at those various prayer events. So I invite you, Mayor Hagedorn, all of you council members, you audience people, to participate. This service, this year's service, will be at the VFW on Jefferson Street at 12 noon. It lasts for about an hour, and it's a very powerful prayer service. We have people from various churches, pastors from various churches. It's a non-denominational service. And then we also have lay people who will be offering prayers. Kelly Brinkman, from the president of the school board, will be offering a prayer for education, and Jennifer Giesecke from the Chamber of Commerce will be offering prayer for businesses, and I know Deacon Dave Tobin will be offering prayers for families, and then there's about 5 or 6 pastors from various churches that are offering prayers for the military, for media, for churches, for law enforcement, all various aspects of our society. And so we just encourage everyone to participate because it encompasses all aspects of our life here in America. So thank you again, Mayor. Appreciate it. And thank you, Council.
Police Department promotion.
Good evening, Council. As I stated in my letter to you, it's been quite some time ago. A few years ago, I identified a need for supervision within our structure, and that was the corporal position. With last year's salary study with McGrath, they also stated that that would be a need. So ultimately, with the salary study, that was incorporated into the salary structure. So here we are, finally able to make a promotion. So tonight, we're going to promote Officer Matt Cooper to corporal, if he would come up. And Jamie also. He has elected Jamie to pin his badge, which already shows good decision-making skills. So we'll see how this goes. All right. I'll take that one. You guys practiced this, didn't you? All right, great. Thank you. Congrats.
Chief said I have to say something, so I'll try to keep it short. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited to learn and further my career. I will not disappoint you or let you down. I'll do you proud. And thank you guys for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Police Department reappointment?
So tonight, we have a reappointment of Officer Zach Hudson. It is his second month reappointment.
Second
He'll-
6 month.
Second 6 month, I should say, rather. So he'll be off of probation, but he's doing well for us.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Holtmeyer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Washington Area Highway Transportation Committee appointment?
Thank you. Dear council members, I herewith submit for your approval the following for appointment to the Washington Area Highway Transportation Committee. Kurt Understall, term ending July 2026, filling the vacancy of Bill Miller Sr.
Make a motion.
Motion by Coulter.
Second.
Was that Mark?
Bear.
Second by Bear. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, guys.
2025 Council Committee Liaison assignments? I just need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Holtmeyer.
Second.
Second by Patke. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes.
Public hearings, rezoning 4151 and 4153 Jane Lane.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so good evening. So we have a rezoning application, and later on you'll see there's also a preliminary plat. They go hand in hand. We saw this last month where we are looking at a two-family structure. They need to subdivide, and the proposed zoning would be the R1C, single-family attached. As you can see in this area of Jane Lane and Brookview Drive, there is a mix of the duplex, two-family, the R2, and the R1C, so it's already happening. The subdivisions are going to continue simply because the mortgage industry is now requiring that those changes are made before they mortgage a two-family duplex. So that is what you have in front of you today for the public hearing. We have another aerial view, just kind of second look at that, but that's what we've got. I think the applicant is here. If there's any questions.
Well, good.
It's a public hearing. You can open up.
Good evening. My name's Mark Frankenberg. I am with Bishop Frankenberg in downtown Washington here. And again, as Sarah put it very good, this is happening all over Washington, and we hope you look at it as a good thing and pass this. Is there any questions?
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to speak?
Would anyone else like to speak on this issue? This is a public hearing. Okay.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Bear, second by Briggs to accept. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's in the minutes.
An ordinance rezoning 4151 and 4153 Jane Lane from R2 two-family to R1C, single-family attached district in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Briggs.
Introduced by Briggs. Any further discussion, you guys, or questions? Second reading, please.
An ordinance rezoning 4151 and 4153 Jane Lane from R2 two-family to R1 single-family attached district in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Fair?
Yes.
Solentrup?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Pepsel?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Packey?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 3B passes.
Citizens' comments?
This is open mic time for citizens. If you would like to address the council about anything not in the minutes today. You're Okay.
Ordinances and resolutions, an ordinance amending section 605.180 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri relating to business licenses.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
You want me to take it?
Yes, please.
Good evening, council. In your packet this evening is an ordinance for consideration that would update the city code relating to business licenses. Business licenses are valid annually from July 1st through June 30th of the following year, with renewal renotices sent out in early April. In the past, we have had some challenges with businesses renewing their business licenses on time. And so by introducing the late payment penalties, this will encourage payments to be on time. And so staff is just recommending your approval.
Questions? Discussion?
I'm assuming you're gonna put a notice on the notice that they're gonna get the fee.
Yes. Absolutely.
I figured so, but
Yeah. We will send out an email and then we will also put it on the website.
thanks.
You're welcome.
And it's 50, 100, 150 max.
Correct.
No further questions? Second reading.
An ordinance amending section 605.180 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri relating to business licenses. Bear?
Yes.
Solentrop?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Hepsel?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Packey?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7A passes. B, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a health reimbursement account administrative services agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and United Healthcare Services, Inc.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This evening, I have presented to you an agreement and asked for an ordinance authorizing its signature. This is a signature needed for the agreement we went into that you all approved in December for our health care with United Healthcare. This is the HRA, or Health Reimbursement Account Agreement. We did not receive this until late March from our insurance broker. We had finalized all the details with the Health Reimbursement Account Agreement, and we need this document to finalize that. It is the same process that we presented to you in December, we just did not have a signed agreement yet. Entertain any questions?
Okay. Thanks, Shauna.
Thank you.
Second reading. Sherry, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a health reimbursement account administrative services agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and United Healthcare Services, Inc. Bear?
Yes.
Solentrop?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Hepsel?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Packey?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KJ Understraw Construction Co. for the Washington Terrace Public Sewer Extension Project.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
Good evening, council. So this contract here is to extend sanitary sewer to 3 properties off Old Pottery Road, as you can see there. So these properties have been in the city limits for a long time, but there was never any water or sewer that could be extended to them. Since the development in Meadow Lake getting annexed into the city's extended the water, and we've extended the water down Old Pottery, so now they can connect into water. Now with the new apartments off of Highway 100 there's an opportunity to extend sanitary to those properties as well. So we're gonna go ahead and propose having KJ Understall for just under $40,000 extend that sanitary sewer to those residents.
And then the residents are required to hook into, right?
Correct, and they're all made aware of that they will have to connect into water and sewer once those are brought to them.
And is there any hold up with that, with the property owners that you have
Nope,
had?
they're already working together with one plumber to get that all taken care of, so.
Did GSM get connection fees?
Yeah, and they will have connection fees, and they're made aware of that as well.
Cool.
I've been waiting 65 years for this. Seriously. It was annexed in 1960. so. Yep.
Say that again, Derek. It was annexed in 1960, and we haven't had sewer or water to them for that period.
Correct.
Who do we blame for that length of time?
I don't know, how long you been on the council?
No, it's a good thing. I know the development is close by, and I know there's some adverse there, but I think this is one of the benefits, so, good, thank you.
No further questions or discussion? Second read.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KJ Undersaw Construction Co. for the Washington Terrace Public Sewer Extension Project. Bear?
Yes.
Selentrop?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Hepsel?
Yes?
Briggs?
Yes.
Petke?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7C passes. D, please.
An ordinance amending the provisions of Chapter 320, Schedule I of the Code of the City of Washington by decreasing the speed to 20 miles per hour at the location described below.
Briggs.
Introduced by Briggs.
So this came as a concern from the public about the speed limit on Front Street. So as you can see in yellow there is 20 miles per hour, the black are 25, and the green are 30, yeah. So you can see most of Front Street's 20, but that stretch between Teeman and Stafford is 25, so it's unmarked. So there's some confusion on where that line is out there on the streets. So it made sense to just make all of Front Street 20 miles per hour, make that consistent. So Traffic Committee agreed, and that's the recommendation.
Will we get a sign down there by Teeman? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Discussion?
Is West Main signed also with the 30 miles an hour? Seems like those cars are a lot faster on West
As
Main.
soon as you go around the corner and go up the hill, it's marked.
Even
30
coming
there.
in,
I think it was just the ordinance only said to Stafford, and there was never really any signage change except for maybe putting in the solar signs down there that sometimes work. But I just think it was forgotten from what I've been told, that it's, the reason it's 25 is because it's not marked, and anything in the city that's not marked is 25.
That's the default.
So you gotta know magically when you cross Stafford that you can go 5 miles an hour faster legally.
I understand we've had some fast accidents on Teeman, at front and Teeman, no doubt, and then other people on Front Street too. I guess for me, I thought it was more of people didn't know what the speed limit was, but now we're going all the way back down to 20. I guess it's not gonna be a bottleneck down there, but it was just I thought it was more of we needed a sign there, not reduce it to 20. But if the Traffic Commission went through the process, then by all means, whatever's best. But again, I was more looking at, we needed a sign down there to make it.
But either way, making sure the signs are there and people are aware of the
Right.
speed limit.
I just think
As
that
well.
20 is a little slow when you get all the way there, but we'll see how it goes. See how many tickets we get, right, Chief?
Well, yeah, true. I will say, though, typically, and correct me if I'm wrong, Charles, if it's a default speed, we don't put signs up for that.
Correct.
Typically. Yeah, so that's why it's not there.
Right.
They go more than 25 miles an hour.
Nobody ever.
Oh,
drives-
I know.
Nobody ever drives 20 on Front Street.
Well, and that was my comment. I think it was a matter that they're going 45 and 50 down there, and we need to slow them down. Do we need to put a sign up that's 25?
This
But if we're
isn't-
gonna put 20 and put a sign up, then we'll slow them
It
down.
won't change anything, but at least now they'll know.
Yeah, part of the conversation, too, was consistency along Front Street, so you didn't have that, okay, where it changes from 20 to 25, where is that? So,
And then as you
That
get
way
to
it's
Teeman, it
consistent all
jumps
Front
back
Street.
to 20.
yeah,
and-
right.
Further questions or discussion? Second read, please.
An ordinance amending the provisions of Chapter 320, Schedule I of the Code of the City of Washington by decreasing the speed to 20 miles per hour at the location described below. Bear?
Yes.
Selentrop?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Hepsel?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Packey?
For Kim, yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Holtmeyer.
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes. E, please.
An ordinance amending Schedule IV, no parking at any time of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri.
Holtmar.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
So this is over on Washington Ave between Third and Fifth Street. There's a parking spot right there between the parking lot for the eye doctor and the city alley. Becomes a sight distance issue for people pulling off of the alley there. So the traffic committee reviewed that and decided to make that no parking because of the sight distance issue.
Just losing one spot.
One spot, correct.
Further questions or discussion? Second reading, please.
An ordinance amending Schedule IV, no parking at any time of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri. Bear,
Yes.
Stolentrip.
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Pepsel,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Pecky,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Holtmeyer.
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7E passes.
Commission, committee, and board reports, preliminary plat approval, 4151 and 4153 Jane Lane.
Okay, so we're back at Jane Lane to facilitate the rezoning that you just approved. We have a preliminary plat, subdivision that will allow for the rezoning to go through. As you can see with this subdivision, the lots are about the same size. They meet our code for lot size. They average about 6,098 square feet. The lot width is 40 feet at the front of the property line, and the setbacks also meet 25 feet in the front and rear. So no variances are required for this subdivision. We also have verbiage on the, I don't have it on here, but we have verbiage on the plat that just states that if there is a shared lateral, just like last time, that they would obviously agree to maintain that and keep that in working order for the enjoyment of both property owners. We did go and verify that water connections are separate. They have separate curb stops, so water and sewer is covered with this subdivision.
But we don't know if there's a separate lateral for sewer?
We don't have those records. They would have to go out and test for that. So we just add that verbiage to the plat, the final plat, which you'll see next.
It just makes sure both parties know that there's an easement there for access to it, if any work has to be done.
Yeah, I get it. I just thought we would know that, but we don't.
No, just like the other one, we didn't know. We would have put that on the property owner to discover that.
I'll move we accept.
Motion by Barrett to accept.
Second.
Briggs is second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's accepted. Keep beat, please.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Brookview Manor Condominium Lot 5, Plat 2 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear.
This is the final plat for the same thing we just discussed on preliminary plat.
Give them permission to record it and get it done. And the applicants are here if you have any other questions.
Further questions, guys? Discussion? Second read.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Brookview Manor Condominium Lot 5, Plat 2 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Bear,
Yes.
Stolentrip.
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Pepsel,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Packey,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Holtmeyer.
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 8B passes.
Your Honor, Sarah, in
Yeah.
new construction and we build a duplex, what do they have the choice of what zoning they want to put it in? So they can build a duplex like always, or they can come back and do R1C and.
They could propose R1C from the start. It's up to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that wasn't an option when
Both-
this was
both are
built. and I know
options.
we're doing that.
When these were created, again, the city didn't have the R1C zoning district. We didn't need it at the time because there didn't seem to be a problem with a lot of lending institutions going ahead and doing loans on units and condos. But in 2008, 2009, we saw that issue come up, and the city created this district at that time. So these were all created before we even had the zoning district. They even had the option.
Thank you.
Mayor's report.
Yeah, guys, last week we got a request from Life's River for me to sign something, and ran it across Karen and ran it across Mark. Mark said we need council approval, and so by a motion, Troy Merciel, who is the executive director at Life's River, I don't see him here yet. He was supposed to be here tonight, but
I think he said he was not gonna make it.
not gonna make it? Okay.
So I can explain a little bit, yeah. What they're requesting is, they have applied for NAP credits, which is, at the state, it's tax credits. A lot of 501c3, that stands for Neighborhood Assistance Program. This does not reflect in any changes or requesting any changes due to the conditions of the ordinance that you had. This just allows them to go ahead, just very similar to what downtown Washington used this a few years ago, quite a few years ago, probably about 5 years ago, I think was the last time they used them. But it allows people to go ahead and purchase tax credits if they want to donate to the 501c3. So, but in doing so, they require a local government certification that does not, just shows that we're not interfering. We have no problem, and we're not interfering with any of our existing plans or ordinances. So, for example, if you had another 2 or 3 other entities were wanting to apply for them as well, you wouldn't have this conflict between certifying one over the other. So essentially, it just allows them to go ahead and apply for this. They need to have their application in. It was brought to our attention, like the mayor said last week, that they need to have that in by August the 1st, or I'm sorry, May 1st, excuse me. And I've got some additional information if anybody needs that or whatever. But basically, they're asking for the city that they can go ahead and sign that off. And again, it even states that this is through the Missouri Department of Economic Development, and as they state on theirs, it's not an endorsement by the local government, it just allows them to go ahead and apply for such credits.
Questions?
Is it operating
Yeah,
credits?
they're up.
I mean, I know
Well,
they're operating, I'm saying, is this for operational budget that they have?
yes,
I mean, they received ARPA funds to do the revamping of the place.
this
So
is
there
for,
shouldn't be a lot of cost simulated there, so.
well, they probably, my guess is, and in talking with Troy, I think, they're gonna be looking for ongoing donations for the help of the operations and maintenance of the facility. And so if they have donors, this is a way that they can go ahead and get a tax credit for it.
Gotcha. So it's not necessarily a tax credit for the facility, it's for those donors that are giving
Correct.
to them, is right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
More discussions or questions, guys, before I ask for a motion?
We do need a motion and approval so that, give the mayor authorization to go ahead and sign.
I'll make a motion for
I'll
approval.
second it.
Motion by Holtmeyer, second by Briggs. Further discussion, guys? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll sign it.
City Administrator's Report.
So-
Report Highway 47 improvements.
Thank you. Charles is going to go ahead and put up, as we mentioned in an email, we had a meeting, a couple of meetings. First one with MoDOT, where we discussed some options of how we could not only expedite, but maybe go ahead and have a little bit more say in how the improvements on the portion of Highway 47. The council is aware that we've been giving some presentations on our capital improvement sales tax. One of the projects, long-term projects, that we talked about was the Highway 47 expansion to 4 lanes from Studerman Road down to approximately where Mid-American Coach is, just north of that. And the purpose of that is to go ahead and widen that from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. And again, we identified it as a long-term need. But MoDOT is moving forward with some of the funding already in place, and they've had one community engagement workshop. They're going to have a second one next week. Then they're going to have an open public hearing in June or July. I can't remember what the date was on that. But in doing so, we discussed with them the option of what we could do to help, and this would, it benefits MoDOT. I guess let me go through his points that Charles has got up there. As we all know, they're currently doing the project quarter. They've got $76 million, a little less than that, allocated for the project. Construction is set for the fiscal year of 2028. That begins actually July 1st, 2027 for the state. Their fiscal calendar is July 1 to June 30th. And this would be from 47 all the way, on 47 all the way from where it ends now to I-44 in St. Clair, that far south, and includes safety and capacity improvements, So what we talked about as far as participation, it would be is if the city was working to partner with MoDOT to ensure 4 lanes extended south of the city limits, we would extend approximately, we were looking at 4,000 feet to the future of that East-West Parkway roadway intersection that's further south that we've shown you on that presentation. We had discussions with the county last week. We had a meeting with them, the county commission, and MoDOT representatives. And participation from the city ensures that we get to take care of, with other Highway 47 improvements, is to protect the future planning and would allow to save on inflation costs to get this thing moving and get this as initial phase sooner rather than later. It allows money for MoDOT. It allows MoDOT to go ahead and improve other items along the corridor. So what they're looking at doing, in short, is they want the city, we could possibly apply for the state's 50/50 cost share program. They've already got $76 million allocated towards this, or a little bit less than 76. If we go and apply for the 50/50 cost share, that would be approximately, that stretch is anywhere between 10 to 12 million right now is what we're looking at as far as budget-wise. Half of that then would come from an additional pot of money at the state, so they could receive 5 to 6 million on top of the 76 for the corridor. I think they've got concerns about being able to do everything that they'd like to see done, obviously with 76 million for that 12.7 mile stretch. So that's the advantage to them. An advantage for us, as we said earlier, is we get a little more say with regards to how this section gets developed as it goes down to where we intend on future city limits and at that East-West Parkway roadway. In addition to that, if we're successful with all of these, and I'll walk you through all of these steps for participation that Charles put on the slide, but if we're successful at doing that, then the city could also free up more money in the future if this transportation sales tax is renewed, and you could look at other projects along 100 for improvements and use the funds that you originally thought you were going to need for 47. You could do that for other improvements, i.e. Making a safer intersection at St. John's and Highway 100 out there by South Point School. Or if you run into additional issues on 100, you would have those extra funds. Any number of those things. So how this works is the city would apply to MoDOT for the 50/50 cost share. Applications can be made quarterly. If we do that, the next application deadline would be in July. They'd make a decision by September. If we don't do it by then, we could also submit it in September and get an answer by December of the end of the year, either way. And then you get up to $2.5 million per year from MoDOT for a single project. MoDOT has advised us there's a lot of money in that silo of funds, if you will, because a lot of cities have not applied for the 50/50 cost share, and they've got surplus. I don't want to say surplus, but they have plenty of revenue to go ahead and especially to support a project like this. Then what we would look at is that the city would apply for STP funds through East-West Gateway in February of 2026 for the remaining 50%. So bear with me here. You got 10 to 12 million total for the project. You're looking at 5 to 6 million for the 50/50 cost share. Half of that 5 to 6 million from MoDOT. The other 5 to 6 million would be at the local level, but we could also apply for the federal funds and go ahead and receive 80% of that other 50%, if that makes sense. So now you're down to only a 20% local match, which would be approximately anywhere between 1 to 1.2 million. And we talked to the county about splitting that match, 10% for the city and 10% for Franklin County. And so far, they seem to be they didn't laugh us out of the room by any means. They were very, I think, excited about the possibility of participating with something like this. So we would have to make that application in February 2026. We would not know whether or not that would be funded by those STP funds until later in 2026. Actually, staff, East West Gateway staff makes recommendations on those projects in May. And so we would not be aware of that until May. But that's okay. We would, like I said, and then later on in the year, they vote for the full board to go ahead and vote and approve. Also, what's been done in the past, if some of you that were on the council back in, I guess it was 21, I think the city of Union worked with the county to go ahead and apply for SDP funds. Typically, we are funded completely, or the county will receive at least one project to be funded by STP funds or CMAQ funds, which we've done for other intersections. That's a separate pot of money, but you're always guaranteed to get one project per county down at East West Gateway. And back then, if you'll remember, we held off on applying for any projects as well as the rest of the cities in Franklin County, so to ensure that that 47 corridor and that project or what they applied for would get funded. It did. They had their own problems with regards to right-of-way. I don't want to get into all of that, but that was another issue that they ran, and eventually they backed off of the project. We would ask for the cities in Franklin County and Franklin County to do the same. We would apply for the grant, and then we would expect them not to apply so that we would be guaranteed that we would be able to go ahead and get the STP funds. In addition to all of that, we would have a intergovernment agreement between Franklin County that would basically spell out if the city was able to go ahead and be successful at the 50-50 grant, then the next step would be the STP funds, and at any point, the city could go ahead and back out of it. So if we did not receive the, say we got the 50-50 cost share, but we didn't get the STP grant, we could back out of it. And so, but the idea being that they would go ahead and participate with us, and it would be 500 to 600,000 local match for each entity, both the city and Franklin County. So the Missourian was covering the meeting that we had with the commission last week, and so if you saw an article, that was the essence of the article that they were covering, was that meeting and these options. So what we're looking for is just, if the council generally agrees, we would move forward with starting this process of an interoffice agreement, and then at some point, a little bit later, putting together the application for the 50-50 cost share. And we may need to come back to you at that point for some type of resolution or whatever their application requires. Any questions?
You said that the other municipalities in Franklin County would not submit what we are.
We would ask them not to go
Basically
ahead
out
and
of
submit.
respect that
That's
they're gonna
right,
get
to
it.
try to go ahead and get 47, keep moving funded.
But I mean, you have to assume that St. Clair should be doing the same thing we are and build 47 to the north in the same regard and use the same formula.
Well,
Funding's maybe not there, but
it's my understanding
do
they
their
could,
deal,
they
I
can
guess.
do it in phases, and they could do it possibly the next time, the following year.
27.
Yeah.
okay.
Be one.
That's kind of what I was getting at, is that, I mean, Union's gonna have to do something similar to what we're
Correct.
talking about too. How do we make that negotiation with them, that what we're gonna do it first, then they're gonna do it, and then as MoDOT goes in stages?
I would say, yes, that's what we're looking at, and we're talking with Jordan Dalaveras, who's the area engineer with MoDOT. So that's, years ago, what we had as a city said, hey, why don't you, Union, you and the county work on the first phase, which is the bottleneck over at 5047.
Right.
And they did that, or they tried to get the funding. I don't think, like I said, I think where it fell short was they did not have a line item in their budget for enough right-of-way. That's where they ran into the problems. There was a lot of concern, I think, about if they couldn't get a voluntary acquisition of the property, they would have to go through condemnation. That may get tied up for 4 or 5 years, and then they come back and they would be responsible for any overage of what was not in the application.
Okay, so you answered the second part of my question, is why not the Union section first? Because they couldn't get it done, so now they want to do this first, is that?
I think we should need to, if MoDOT is willing to work with us and we can get this done, this helps us. Like I said, it gives you some flexibility of how you want to move forward if you choose to move forward on the renewal of the half-cent transportation sales tax.
Jeff, I think to answer your question, we went to MoDOT expressing these concerns. Union and St. Clair haven't come to them yet, so we were just the first ones,
Okay.
to bring this idea up of collaborating with them, so.
I mean, here's a couple of options. You could sit there and do, I mean, there are a couple of options. You could say, thanks, but no thanks, we're not gonna participate, and just let MoDOT move forward with 76 million and how they wanna, however they're able to go ahead and improve Highway 47, including the portion that's just south of us. And the other thing that you would do then is, if we do this, we'll have to free up some funds and move some funds. We have a 10-year budget, or at least out to, I shouldn't say 10-year budget, we've got it out to 2030 with all of our transportation improvements. We would have to move some of those around that year when it's available for this. That 500, 600,000, we still have to come up with within your existing half-cent transportation sales tax.
Right.
So that also includes the outer road intersection.
Yes.
Establish that.
Yes, and we feel, and it's not that they're saying that they won't acknowledge that, I think they do, because we've identified a long-term plan, we've gotten it started, they understand that as a planned roadway, but I think we'll have a lot more say with regards to how that intersection gets formed, and that's gonna be a crucial one for the success of that roadway in the future.
But the possibility also is, I mean, I think we all agree that $76 million is not going to pay for 4 lanes from Washington to St. Clair. It's not going to happen.
No, and I think what you're gonna see out of the meetings and what some of the stuff, and I don't wanna say that this was already out of the meetings that have been taking place this year, but I know in the past, the discussion was, you'd have the widening of 2 lanes to 4 lanes to Union, improve the intersections over in Union, and then have a superhighway basically from Union to St. Clair, which means you've got a dedicated turn lane and 2 driving lanes going from Union to St. Clair.
Right, but this formula gives MoDOT an extra potentially $15 million if they do it with us.
5 million.
5 from us. I'm just banking on the fact that
They
you need St. Clair.
they get to pull some additional 5 million from a bank of
different
funds that they have available for themselves, basically. It's kind of crazy. They got silos of funds. But I mean, they've got 76 or a little less than 76 million allocated towards this already. This just allows them to pull an additional 5 million and get federal dollars for that. So yeah, in theory, 10 to 12, or at least probably about 10 million added onto the project.
Right.
I wouldn't say a full 15, but about 10.
And like you said, if we say no and just don't do this, we
Right.
run the potential risk that MoDOT's going to leave Washington to Clearview as 2 lanes.
Well,
We don't have a say in what's going to happen there. That's possible.
That's possible. That's correct.
Guys, it gives us control. I mean, we want the intersection that is not there yet of East-West Parkway and Highway 47, 4 lanes. We want that portion, and this gives it to us for $500,000. That's a $10 million project, and it's not for sure yet, but by God, it's worth striving for. I mean, you pay
Yeah,
1/20th of what the cost is.
Right.
There's
How
a-
can we argue?
We would pay that to have 4 lanes that far.
That's right.
correct.
We would extend, instead of just being down to 2 lanes right after Studeman
Yes.
Road,
Yeah.
to go another half mile,
Yes.
3/4 of a mile is worth that. So yeah, you're definitely on the right page, no doubt.
So if the council's in agreement for us to kind of move forward, staff will go ahead and start working. I would ask, I'll ask Mark to go ahead and start drafting a intergovernmental agreement between the city of Washington and Franklin County. So outlines all of these steps along the way, and at any time then the only concern I had is I didn't want to apply for a 50/50 cost share and have the city exposed that we have to come up with 5 to 6 million
Right.
of that. And that this way it allows us, we have this agreement with them, and if we don't receive the STP funds, we can always back out and say, thanks, but no thanks. Any questions?
Do we want to do a motion?
I would just, as long as we've got a consensus among the council to move forward with it, we're fine. Do we have that? Nodding of the heads is all I need.
Yeah.
That's all right. Then I'm there. Thank you. Thanks, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Council comments?
Welcome, Councilman Pepsel and Councilman Solentrop.
Thank you.
Be different, but it'll be great.
Looking forward to working with you all.
Okay.
need a motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Coulter, second by Packey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. You going down the bar?
What's next time? I know. Got this down.
Across the street. I'm wondering. Not your bar.
Yeah, I said, what?
Oh, what? I didn't do anything.
Mark said he'd
Apparently,
be down
you had
there.
some good luck charms. Everything was smooth and you were like,
Oh, I know.
couldn't believe it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a sweet spot on this.
You gotta find,